Hi friends, you ready to make some colors this week? We've got a really fun project that's very simple to do. It involves all the areas of STEAM. We have science, technology, engineering, art and math all together in one simple project. All you need is a roll of paper towels. Now make sure they're the ones that have the full square, not the picker size ones where you get the little rectangular strips. You want the ones with a fairly large square. Took off a few there. You need a bowl with some water in, or you can have, and in it I have a little tiny spoon to drip some water onto my paper towel. I can use my fingers to drip water on. I can use a little pipette. Pipettes are a little tricky to use, so it might be easier just to use the spoon or drip it from your fingers. I have colored markers, a whole bunch of colors here, and I have a glass that I will use as a vase if I want with my finished project. I have some clear tape, which I can also use to arrange my finished project into something different. And I have a flashlight. I don't have a small button flashlight. I just have a large flashlight, and that's just to show one of the effects that I want to display at the end. The most important things you need are the paper towels, the markers, and the water, and that's it. So the first thing we're going to do is take one paper towel. Now paper towels like to have water travel through them. That's why they're so good for mopping up. And we're going to fold the paper towel up in as many different folds as we can to make it as small as we can. So I'm going to just make a square. Okay, well, that's a rectangle. Now I'm going to make a square by folding it again. And now I'm going to fold it into a triangle, a little bit like a coffee filter, like this. So now I have a triangle. And now if I want, I can fold it again, take one edge and fold it again to make an even smaller triangle. So this is what I end up with, a triangular folded paper towel. Now it doesn't matter which way you fold it. You don't have to end up with this shape at all. Play around with it, see what shape you like. And when you open it up, it's going to look different anyway. But every fold of the paper towel is going to act as what they call in math an axis. And we're going to get different color effects coming out from each fold, okay, in a sort of, and the patterns will sort of match each other on each side of every fold. That's called symmetry. But that's a lot. Let's just start out with our triangle. Now, then we can take some colors, any colors you like. Okay, so I'm going to just take the primary colors, blue, red, and yellow. The primary colors are colors that you cannot make these from any other color, but when you combine them together, you can get any color you want. The secondary colors are the colors that you make when you mix two colors together. So there's orange, there is purple, and there is green. You can use all of the colors or only the primary colors. Do whatever you like. You will still end up getting new and different colors as your colors will travel in the water to mix with the other ones. Anyway, here you have your folds. Now I'm just going to take my markers and I'm going to color anything I like on this folded shape. Put some blue here. And I'm going to take some yellow, put some yellow here next to my blue. Okay, now I'm going to take some red right here. Now I'm going to let the colors soak into the paper towel a little bit. You can use water-based paints, of course. You can use food coloring that you can drip on. I just decided to do this, and I'm just going to actually go for a secondary color, purple, which you get when you mix red and blue. I'm just going to put a little bit down here. Now I'm not covering the whole towel because I want to see what happens when these colors start to move, which they will. When I drip water on here, you're going to see the colors start to spread out. Some colors will mix with other colors to form a new one entirely, and different colors like to go different distances. Some only like to travel a little bit. Other colors like to travel a long way. This effect is used in science. It's called chromatography. Every color has a characteristic, has something about it that lets it travel a certain way before it stops. So I'm going to take my bowl of water. I'm going to take my little spoon, and I'm going to drip water, not too much. Actually, I'm going to do it over a plate. These are washable markers, by the way. I'm going to drip some water on here. Not too much. I don't want to drown it. And then I'm going to watch as these colors start to spread out. Can you see what's happening here now? I only did this on one side of my fold. I didn't turn it over and do it on the other side. I could have done that, but I want to see all the effects that happen just from the colors traveling through one side. Now I don't want this paper towel to be too drippy, but I want the colors to get a chance to travel. So you're going to leave them a few minutes. Now I already see some very cool effects happening. The purple is spreading out here. I'm getting some pinks at the edges. My green, I have green here when the blue and the yellow mixed. And I have different shades of green here. My blue is very intense here. Here it's lightened up. My red is taking on all different kinds of other colors. I have an almost gray color right here. So I wonder what this is going to look like when we unfold it. Let's see if it's ready. Now it's hard to wait, but let's see what happens when I unfold it. When I unfold it, I'm unfolding it one way. Unfold it the way you folded it up. It's easy. It's just sort of just happens like that. Now I'm unfolding it back to a square. Well, now look at this. Down the lines or axes, down my folds, I have colors that match each other on either side of the fold. They match. That's called symmetry. Symmetry, the same. On the other side too, you see, there's greens and blues and pinks, greens and blues and pinks, and my purples at the bottom of both, and it's looking pretty cool already. So now I'm going to open it. Wow. There's another axis right here, all the folds, which you'll see quite readily when you unfold, are having some super patterns. Now be very careful when you open this out if it's very wet. Isn't that wonderful? That looks like a sunburst, except it's like a rainbow burst with so many different colors. I think that looks awesome. Now if you leave that to dry, wow, that is very cool. I think that looks really fabulous, right? And all the edges are the same, so the colors are repeated around the folds. Looks sort of like a rainbow pizza. And even at the edges, you have these purple corners. I'm going to leave that to dry. Here's another one that I made a couple of days ago, which has dried now. When the colors dry, they'll fade a little bit. So here's another one I did. And if you make a bunch of these, what you can do is you can put them, a couple of them, we'll put many of them next to each other, like this. Lay them next to each other. And then if you do enough colors, so I haven't dyed these yet, but if these were colored, you could put one here and one here, and then you can tape them together using some clear tape to make a quilt. See if I can do that with these two. Now you should wait till they're dry, or the colors from the wet one are going to affect the dry one and start creeping into that. So you should wait until they're all dry. I'm not going to wait right now. I'm just going to show you. And then if you had one colored one here and one colored one here and you hung it up, that would be a glorious picture, a quilt or a wall hanging. Oh, okay, well, tape doesn't stick very well on things that are wet, but so I won't pick it up right now until it's dry. But that's what you would get. You'll get a whole wonderful square quilt. Another way you can display these fabulous paper towels, okay, is to fold them up. You can fold them up back along the lines, the original lines that you did. So let me try it with this one. You see if I can get it right. They sort of automatically fold themselves. So now I've got it back into that triangle shape. And now if I put my fingers in the middle there and sort of open it up, it looks a little bit like a flower, maybe a lily. So I'm going to take my other paper towel. I'm going to do the same here. Open it up so it looks a bit like a flower, so you can see all the cool colors inside and outside. And I can put a whole bunch of them in this vase. Okay, I'm going to add a white one because it will help you see what all the other ones look like even better sometimes when you have something white in there, right? There. Okay. Now it looks like a vase of flowers. And if you take a flashlight, now you need one of those small flat ones, like a little keyring flashlight. You can even put your cell phone underneath there with a flashlight function on. But I just have a regular flashlight. I just want to show you what this looks like. So I turned it on, and now you can see what happens when you put the flashlight underneath. It's got this really cool look to it, and the glass looks kind of fascinating. And at night, when you look down into the flowers, they look really quite magical. Okay? Isn't that fun now? So we have talked about color mixing. We have talked about symmetry. You have technology and engineering in how you fold your paper and arrange it just so. You have art in what results. So here is our fabulous piece of art we made today. And maybe you can think of some new cool things to do with your paper towels and let me know. Have fun. Bye. See you next week.